Attention, all stations. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, VA3 CJZ, opening the weekly amateur radio exchange group, Simplex Net, also known as AREG, for Wednesday, June 26, 2024. This will be the Canada Day long weekend edition, and it is also the longest running Simplex Net in the Hamilton Dundas area. This week is 1,606 times that AREG has been on the air weekly. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton. This net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. So I also stream the net on YouTube so people who tune in can hear stations they cannot hear on their radio, hear how their audio sounds on the air, and see their signal strength as well as see my station layout. Just type my call into the YouTube search box and look for us live, or tonight we'll have the title AREG Week 1606. Finally, we ask that you please try to leave a 1 second delay between transmissions to allow other stations to break in. May I now have check-ins for this evening's AREG?
HBASJ.
Victor Echo 3, Zulu, Juliet, Charlie.
Victor Alpha 3, India, Mike Whiskey, and KKP doubled with Rick.
Okay, very good then. So we've got four stations there. AXJ tied with KKP, Zulu, Juliet, Charlie, and IMW. Let's start with that and bring in downtown Rick. Come on in, Rick.
Good evening, Chuckles. How are you tonight? Things are looking good here. Not much to report. Just had a busy day. Go tomorrow, get the shots in the back, and be a little sore, I guess, tomorrow for a bit. But anyhow, that's the way it goes. Back to you.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to get a hold of my surgeon there and let him know that the last one that I had done did not take, and so it's happened once before, and so I have to suffer for 6 months and then wait for him to do it again.
I wasn't scheduled to go until Tuesday. My tenant next door, also a good friend of mine, she's getting her shoulder operated on, and she goes to the same clinic that I go to, so we used to go together. So we got in earlier, which is a good thing, I guess, and then have to look after her for probably a week or two with her shoulder.
Yeah, and this is the Canada Day long weekend, as I mentioned earlier. And whatever you do, don't injure yourself or need to go to the hospital on a long weekend. Let me tell you, it's horrible. Through experience, I've noticed it takes super long, and it's busy as heck. And even one year we went. It was when I think it was the Italians that won the soccer cup, and downtown was jammed up. Cars were stopped, and I had an emergency. I had my daughter that had an accident and cut her leg, and I was on my way to Mac, and then I got just stopped downtown. And so thankfully it didn't last for too long, and we were able to get out of there and make it. So just a word of advice: don't get injured on a long weekend. Anyways, Rick, I'm pretty sure you're going to stick around for the duration. Anything else before I move on?
No, not really. I'm gonna be here though. I'll be sandy bagging, I guess that's TV talk again. Got to get out of that. Yeah, I'll be hanging around here for a bit, and with KPP, go ahead there. Back to you.
Okay, before I go, the question of the night is: do you got any plans this long weekend?
I don't think so. I could probably go to the trailer for a few days, but I don't know. I'm thinking about it though. Maybe.
All right, I'd love to go to a trailer. Okay, Rick. So we'll get back to you in a bit, my friend. Thanks for checking in, and then let's bring in VE3 KKP.
He was time sensitive and had to run, so he's not available.
All righty then. I also didn't hear that part, but thank you, Mac. We'll get to you shortly. Let's bring in VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. Jason, come on in. How are you?
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on net. I'm doing well. Hope you are as well, sir. No real traffic today. Yep, just another typical work day. As for the long weekend, the only plan that I have is weather permitting and all that other stuff. I will be out there activating on Canada Day with the rest of the local POTA nuts.
So you're still going to be in town before your big flight out west then. When do you take off again?
Yep, I'll still be here. I leave on the 3rd after work. So I will be here on Monday, and like I said, hopefully at a park.
Oh, yeah, on the 4th too. Big celebrations down in the States, wherever you're going to be. So, yeah, very good. Wish you well with that, Jason, and thanks for checking in. Are you sticking around for a bit?
Yes, sir. I'll be sticking around listening either here at the station or on YouTube, depending on what I'm doing in the house. But I'll definitely be here for the duration.
Okay, very good. Speaking of YouTube, as you all know, we're streaming live, and Wade has checked in. He'll try to make it to the radio a little bit later on. Good evening, Wade, VA3NCA. You are in the logs, sir. Thank you, Jason, and we'll get back to you as well. Let's say hello to VA3IMW.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody on net. Thanks for doing this on a religious basis. Certainly appreciate it. Yes, this is day one of my 6-day weekend. Certainly enjoying it. Did not accomplish anything today, which means I really did accomplish one thing, because I planned to do nothing today, and I did exactly that. Check mark in a big box. What else? Yes, I've shared our plans for Parks on the Air activations, checked in with Chris's net, and let all the hunters and potential activators know that the HPO group will be active on Monday, so keep your eyes on your fries and the spotting page for any of you locals that will be out activating Charlie Alpha 5082. I'm here for the duration, Chuck. No other traffic for me right now.
Oh, okay. Very good, Mac. Good to hear. I also overheard someone saying that the club call sign HPO VE3 HPO was up on QRZ. So of course I had to go punch that in and look it up. And I understand Bill will be building that web page. So can't wait for that. And yay, Hamilton, for getting that call sign and getting the ball rolling with that POTA club. So really looking forward to chasing some of you guys down there on the weekend, or on Monday. Still going to be the weekend. But anyways, good luck to one and all. And Mac, first day of holidays, very good. And I don't know if we're getting any rain a little bit later this evening or not, but we're going to try and stay for the duration this time. Okay, Mac, anything else before I do another call out?
Actually, it's very good news. I hadn't heard that we had been confirmed with VE3HPO. That's good news. I know Wade had some telephone conversations with the administrators, so it's nice that the application got in and got confirmed. Very good, sir. And that's it for now.
All right, I'll have to write this one in the books, Mac. I finally knew something before you did.
Oh, I'm sure you're just full of information. As a matter of fact, when we get to the trivia and your pop quiz, we'll find out how little I really know.
Yeah, and the guys on the YouTube stream usually type that in there pretty quick. So it's nice to have a little bit of audience participation, and we'll have more of that tonight as well. So for those of you just joining us, might have trouble hearing some stations, you can listen in on the YouTube stream by typing my call sign into the search box, VA3CJZ, and you can find us there under the live red button or the title AREG Week 1606, 1606. And so with that, let's see who else out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Alpha 3, November Fox Lima.
Victor Echo 3, Kilo, Mike, Quebec.
Okay, got two stations there, NFL and Kilo Mike, Quebec. Let's bring in Al, Victor Alpha 3, November Fox Lima.
Hey, Chuck. How's your evening going? I tried to get checked in first, but you didn't hear me, so I got outgunned. But hey, what's going on? Everything good?
Yeah, so far so good. I'm still waiting to find out what the wife's work schedule is going to be for this long weekend there. But no matter, I'm not planning on going very far. I mean, and we got the front end fixed on our car, so I know I'll be good for a little bit of a trip there coming up to Barrie, I think. So yeah, we had a tie rod blow on my wife's car there when she was at the center mall. So got that fixed in a jiffy and not too pricey. So you can't beat that.
Yeah, I thought I heard you talking about Canadian Tire, the rip-off place, but yeah, I'm glad it all worked out. Yeah, I know my wife's waiting for July 16th. She's pulling the plug, going on old age, so yeah, I'm older than her. Beat her by 2 months, but maybe 3. I'm not even sure. But anyway, I just want to get checked in. BH or NFL. 7-3 to everybody in that. I hope everybody has a great evening.
Okay, Al. Well, thank you so much for checking in. And yeah, it was a tricky thing there. My wife was by herself, and we don't have a driveway. And her personal mechanic wasn't in on Sunday. Happened on a Sunday, and so we couldn't tow our car, a broken car, and park. Have it on our street. We would have got a ticket for sure. So she took it to Canadian Tire, so they put it on the lift and had a look at it and gave us a a fantasy of a wish list they wanted us to agree to, but we of course said no and took it to her mechanic on the Monday, and that got done for a fraction of their quote. So yeah. Anyways, Al, thanks again. What are you doing this weekend? Anything?
No, I've taken since Friday last week, this whole week off, and talking to the boss, I guess I got Monday off too, so I'm hearing there's a contest, I think. I gotta check that out on Ham Dash, but yeah, I'll get into that one too. But just killing time, enjoying it. It's nice and cool right now, so I just want to get checked in.
Okay, Al, you are in the log, sir. Thank you very much. All right, then. So let's move on and say hi to Mike, Victor Echo 3, Kilo Mike, Quebec. Come on in, Mike.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net this evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, speaking about car woes, the air conditioning on my wife's car went today, and you might know she had to go out this afternoon. Of course, it being so warm, she had to have the windows open, and guess what? It poured rain, so double whammy there. Not a great situation, but gonna have to get that looked at, and I don't know what the cost is going to be. If it's a compressor or condenser, it's going to be pricey, but who knows? Maybe we'll luck out and it won't be something so severe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a good field day this past weekend. I worked from home, or operated from home, I should say, and with the weather being what it was, I thought I'd play it safe, but had a successful weekend, and always a lot of fun. So with that, back to you, VA3CJZ, VE3KMQ.
He's got a dynamite signal.
Yeah, that's Mike in Burlington. Mike, what's your approximate location?
Yeah, I'm in Aldershot. I'm Plains Road, Waterdown Road area. So that gives a general location. Running a little bit of power, about 70 watts out.
It's working. You're damn near pinning my needle. VA right up out.
Glad to hear. Glad to hear him getting out well.
Yeah, check out his QRZ page there. VE3 Kilo Mike Quebec. Nice tower there. Very good, Mike. Yeah, you're always sounding great over here. And glad you had fun on field day. And of course, the boys are going to be out. The local Hamilton guys here will be on the, what is it, Trans-Canada Trail or something like that for POTA. And so, yeah, Saturday appears to be the worst weather we have for the next several days. So they're calling for rain, super high humidity. I think a high of 25, feeling like 35. And so, but the weather changes day to day, so we'll have to wait and see. But I thought I'd let you know. Anyways, Mike, thank you so much for checking in. And anything else for us, sir?
No, not too much. I hate to bring it up, but disappointed in the hockey game. I think most of us were rooting for Edmonton. Wasn't to be this year, but I guess as the cliche goes, there's always next year, right? Anyway, that's it for me. Back to you.
Yes, I know. Big disappointment, but to have made it that far, no Canadian team has in a while, so is good for them. Okay, Mike, thanks for sharing, and thanks for your check-in, sir. Have a great weekend coming up if I don't speak to you. I'm sure I'll hear you on the HF bands there at the odd time. I do catch you making out a call there and making a contact. So good luck this weekend. I haven't checked out what the contests are as such. I think it might be quiet because of Canada Day, but we're going to have a look and see in a bit. Anything else, Mike?
No, not really. But other than the one contest on the Monday, of course, is the RAC Canada Day contest. So probably participate in that. I'm not sure whether I'll get outdoors or indoors, but anyway, we'll see. 73 Chuck, thanks for doing it. Great job, as always. 73.
Okay, 7-3, Mike. And just pulling up the contest calendar webpage here. Yes, that is the main contest. The RAC Canada Day contest starts at 0 Zulu time, July 1st to 23:59 Zulu on July 1st. So it's 24 hours only. And that's for phone and CW. And the bands are 2 meter, 6, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. So something for everyone. All right. And let's see. Anything else on that? There's a bunch of real small ones for an hour or two. So if you want any more information on the contests coming up, just open up a web page and put in contestcalendar.com for more information. And so with that, let's see if we have anyone else out there waiting to check in to the weekly AREG Net, the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ.
Victor Alpha 3, November, Charlie Alpha.
Victor Alpha 3, November, Charlie Alpha. Wade, come on in.
VA3 CJZ, VA3 NCA. Good evening, Chuck, and good evening, Owen. Nat. Yeah, I did make it down to the radio after all, so made sure to make it a real RF check-in. Yeah, tonight we had a bit of a surprise at work. The most successful person I've ever worked with left his job for IT to go become a brewmaster, and he completed his course at Niagara College, and he came back today to bring us a 2-4 of his Pilsner. So I have a can of that here, brewed and canned. I didn't realize you could can, but I guess that's what they teach you at Niagara College for brewmastering. And he has plans to open up a brewery. So in my book, that makes him the most achieved IT person around. If you leave that world to become a brewmaster, I think it works. So, anyways, it's very good. That's my beverage for the night. Is Kevin Cacao's Pilsner. So there you go. Look for him sometime soon. He thinks he's going to open up a pub somewhere local. So that'll be nice. Other than that, yeah, I heard the cat is out of the bag after some delays with ISED and various other groups, and we did get the call sign issued. Came yesterday, late in the day yesterday, and we're just setting up a few things. Definitely has to be ready for Canada Day. I think it's probably going to be ready for Friday when we chat about it on the RAG Chew. I think that's the current plan. And Mac, there, you got to check your Discord. You would have heard before Chuck if you had checked your Discord. But anyhow, there we are. And let's see. Yeah, I don't know what else to say in this round, but I can save the rest for later and send it back to you there, Chuck, VA3NCA.
Okay, very good there, Wade. Yeah, congratulations, of course. And we're going to look forward to Friday and hearing more about the finalization of the plans for Monday and get to use that. So we'll have to get used to that call sign and not pass over it. So very good. And of course, I already have you in the log from checking in with us on the YouTube stream there, Wade. So welcome back. I think this is your first net from your trip out east. How was that? Did you enjoy yourself or what?
Yeah, it was really good. I got to do a little bit of radio at the start and the end before the work responsibilities took over there in the middle. I would have rather done the whole week with radio, but there we are. Nonetheless, I did get 5 activations in, including an @no. So I now have all-time new one on the island of George's Island, National Historic Site. It's the Fort Charlotte from I think it was initially done in the 1700s, and then it's been occupied by various versions of British forts since then. So it was a neat place to activate from, a lot of fun, and I wrapped it up with helping the Halifax Radio Club with their field day, set up for their field day. Anyways, I had to leave before field day actually started so I could catch my flight, but it was fun to meet them and help them out with their field day setups, meet some people that I'd only ever talked to on the air before, so get an eyeball QSO in on the East Coast. Other than that, it's a nice place to visit. I'd be happy to go back sometime. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, gosh, it's been a long time since I've been out east, and Nova Scotia is where I ended up. That's as far as I've gone to. So 8 out of 10 provinces for me. And yeah, maybe one day I'll get to visit the East again. It is beautiful, and it's totally different than big metropolitan cities that we're used to. That's for sure. Anyways, Wade, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next round. Um, do you have anything else?
No, I think for this round, maybe I'll think about it and have something else for the next round. But thanks for running it as always, and I'm looking forward to the this day and the trivia and all the rest of the stuff. Great way to spend a Wednesday. Back to you there, Chuck. BA3NCA.
All right, and you got a great signal, by the way, Wade, S9 Plus. So very good. Okay, anyone else wishing to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform. Tomash, come on in. How you doing?
VA3CJZ, VE3CU. Good evening, Chuck and everybody else. Yeah, we're doing okay. I'm just looking forward to next week. I'm on holidays for 1 week. I can hardly wait.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? And my wife is getting hers a week after Canada Day, so I'm looking forward to that. And any plans for this long weekend? Or is it a long weekend for you?
I'll be an extended long weekend, that's for sure. And yeah, we might go on a couple of day trips or something like that. Maybe spend the night somewhere. But I mean, that's after the long weekend's over because I'm off all next week. So other than that, I don't know. The long weekend is just take it day by day and see what we decide to do. But yeah, great signal, Chuck. I'm getting full scale here in Burlington.
Yes, I was just going to say the same thing there, Tom. Smashing signal and outstanding audio. S9 over here. So conditions are good between us tonight there, my friend. Well, thank you for checking in. You going to stick around for a bit, or are you taking off?
I'm going to be sticking around. I'm going to be sitting here listening along.
All right, very good, very good. I've got quite the array of different camera shots on the YouTube stream. If anybody wants to follow along with that, changed things up a little bit there, and try to be a little humorous here and there. Okay, so we'll clear with VE3CEU and see who else is out there would like to check in with us on the Canada Day long weekend. AREG Net, please come now.
VE3QEE.
Okay, I hear VE3QEE. Marty out in Dundas, I believe. Come on in.
Ancaster.
Oh, Ancaster.
A little higher up than Dundas.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening to you, and good evening to all those listening on net. And I'm just here on the side.
Okay, Marty, very good. I got you when you're in the clear. I got an S5 on you and good audio. So very good then. You know, I do try and listen for you on the on Thursdays, but I just can't pull you in. I always have way too much noise, and of course you're coming in with it and not that loud. So I try, Marty.
Well, thanks for that, Chuck. Well, we're not just sure how the antenna is over there, whether we can make improvements on that or not. I think we might be able to. We haven't been on the roof. Well, they've been putting a new roof on. We haven't been allowed outside. Of course, we're not allowed outside during the winter time either. So it's a long time between opportunities to look at what's up there.
Yeah, well, you know, don't it's not necessarily you guys. I mean, I have some guys setting up POTA in the parks west of me that I have trouble hearing every time. and I think it's because of the way I have my antenna pointed. The lobes are pointed north and south, sort of, and I seem to have trouble in that direction there. So only locally, though, of course.
Yeah, right. I'm surprised, some of the signal reports I get from places like Pennsylvania, signal, I guess, gets out there and doesn't get to local areas. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the way it goes. Anyhow, Marty, do you have any plans for this weekend, sir?
well, not special plans, so just doing the normal stuff. At my age, every day's a holiday, so when the holiday weekends come along, they're just the same as every other weekend. So,
Yeah, well, only this time a little bit of more hooting and hollering than normal, with it being Canada Day there and fireworks going off. So be a little bit of excitement, I think. So hopefully the weather is supposed to be fairly cool compared to previous years. Normally hot and sunny on Canada Day, but a little bit cooler this year, I think.
well, we don't make plans too far ahead. So we'll just wait and see what the day brings there, Chuck. Anyway, yeah, it's fun to see the fireworks. Been to a few of those shows, but uh,
Oh yes, yes, same here. I've seen my fill of fireworks for sure. Somebody I saw a suggestion, I think online, maybe on Facebook, saying instead of spending all your money on fireworks, why don't you buy some dog food and give it to a shelter, and that'll help them out because a lot of them are struggling with taking care of all these pets. So, anyways, Marty, thanks again for checking in. I do appreciate it, my friend, and we'll talk to you again soon. Are you going to be sticking around for a bit?
for a few minutes, I'll be sticking around. Thanks for the invite. Back to you.
Okay, very good. So we'll clear with Victor Echo 3, Quebec Echo Echo. And let's see who else is out there wishing to check in with us on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. All right. I don't hear anyone. So far we've got 11 check-ins. And I think Bill, VE3IUK, has checked into YouTube, the YouTube stream. Thank you, Bill. Always enjoy your participation there on the stream. And also Wayne B, Victor Alpha 3, Fox Mike Bravo. Wayne is in Mississauga and cannot reach us. So perfect to check into the YouTube stream. All right. Let's see now. Do we want to do a little bit of audience participation? A little bit of multiple answer trivia here. Does anyone know what animal classification a turtle is? Is it A, an amphibian, B, a reptile, C, a mammal, or D, bird? Does anyone know?
Should be an amphibian.
I'll say a reptile.
There you go. Marty gets the first star. It is, in fact, a reptile. Close, Mac, but no cigar. All right. This one would be for the young folks, I guess. In what year was the first iPhone released? A, 2005, 2006, 2007, or 2008? 2007 is the correct answer. All right, here's a Canadian type of a question. How many players are there in a rugby team? Now, the last time I think I played rugby was when I was in high school. That was back when they had dinosaurs. So, how many players? Is it A, 11, B, 12, C, 15, or D, 20? Anyone know? It is 15. 15 players on a rugby team. So there you go. Pretty sure everyone knows what the capital of Canada is, right?
Yeah, we do, unfortunately.
Well, hang on. Isn't it Toronto?
Oh, yeah, it would be a capital, all right. Yes, it's Ottawa. Yeah, our proud capital.
Yeah. And oh, geez, don't get me started. I had to teach a kid how to count at Walmart because I wanted to pay cash. The kid couldn't count. I couldn't believe it. Anyways, okay. Where was the first Subway restaurant located? A, Los Angeles, B, New York, C, Las Vegas, or D, Bridgeport, Connecticut? It is, in fact, from Bridgeport, Connecticut. I think that's where that guy's from there. What was that guy's name where he lost all that weight eating Subway? Then he ended up becoming a felon or something. All right. Marty's probably going to know this one too. What color are aircraft black boxes? A, black, B, orange, C, red, or D, blue? Anyone?
Orange.
I'll second orange.
Orange.
That is correct. Black boxes are, in fact, orange.
I've got a question for you. Chuck, what's a Gibson girl?
Oh, a Gibson girl. Is that liquor?
Anybody else know the answer?
What is a Gibson girl?
Nothing heard. Am I the only one on here, Chuck? I can't hear any others.
Yeah, no one else responded, Marty, but I did cheat and look it up. I'm reading it right now, but go ahead with the answer.
Well, a Gibson girl is yellow, I believe, very much like school bus yellow, and it's an apparatus that was used in case a plane crashed in the water or landed in the water, and it was this a radio that sent out an SOS signal, and it had a kite along with it. You could deploy an antenna with it, and it also, I think, like the antenna and everything was rolled up inside. It's a piece of American rescue equipment, and you see them at Dayton Hamvention once in a while. Back to you.
Oh, wow. Hey, it's designed for aircraft. How about vessels in the water? Is it just for aircraft?
I think it's just for aircraft, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, right on. That's an interesting fact there, Marty. Well, nowadays they've got these, I forget what they call them, EPROMs or little strobe lights that send out a signal now if you're in need of help there. Some of them activate once they go below water as well.
Yeah, did you look it up on the web there, Chuck? Over.
Well, if I heard the word correctly, it's Gibson, Gibson, girl, Gibson girl. It comes up with something totally different. It says here the Gibson girl was the personification of the feminine idea of physical attractiveness as portrayed by the pen and ink illustrations of artist Charles Dana Gibson. I don't know.
Okay, if you look up World War II radio transmitter Gibson girl, you'll see a picture of her.
Okay, in my query, all I did was add World War II after Gibson girl, and it came up with the United States AAF World War II era SCR 578 survival radio transmitters carried by aircraft on overwater operations. Were given the nickname Gibson Girl because of their hourglass shape. This allowed them to be held securely between the thighs whilst the generator handle was turned. Sound about right?
That's about right. And on eBay, there you can get one for as little as $175, but all the way up to like $380 today.
Where, on Amazon?
No, on eBay.com. I got World War II transmitter Gibson girl, and on eBay, anybody with one for sale, you know, they're out there.
Ah, yes, good old eBay. I haven't shopped on eBay in ages. That used to be the online shopping place to go to until Amazon grew like a hydra, because Amazon started out with as a books online bookstore. They didn't sell anything else but books there for the longest time. And on top of that, Amazon lost money for the first 9 years before they turned a profit. So, and now they're dominating the online shopping.
It's amazing that they could hang on for 9 years without generating a profit.
Yeah, you'd have to have money to burn, or you've borrowed so much money from the investors that you just have to keep hanging on until you start cracking that even mark. All right. Which mammal has no vocal cords? A, gorillas, B, giraffes, C, elephants, or D, dolphins?
Let's go with giraffes.
There you go, Mac. You're a smart cookie. All right. Do you know how Frisbee got its name? Okay, I've got 4 possible answers. Number 1, A, from Frisbee Baking Company. That pretty much tells you there. No. Oh, the other one's got Frisbee in it too. B, so A, from Frisbee Baking Company, or B, the inventor's name was Frisbee. C, it flew like a bird called Frisbee, or D, just a random name.
Let's try a random name.
It's actually from the Frisbee Baking Company. That's got to be old, I think. Well, the Frisbee is pretty old. How old is the Frisbee? Anybody know that?
I think it's older than I am.
How old is the Frisbee? Oh, there we go. When was the Frisbee invented? 1957. There you go. 65, 66, 67 years ago. Wow. I think Whammo, the first Frisbee, the flying disc, was first sold by the Wham-O toy company. Remember them?
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir.
All right. What's the most common letter in the English language? A, A, B, E, or I, or T? So you got A, E, I, T. What's the most common letter?
Echo.
Echo it is. All right.
And it's also the reason E is a dot in Morse code. The letters which are used the most form the shortest Morse code group, E, I, S, and T.
Oh, very good. Thank you for that radio perspective on that, Marty.
That makes it more economical.
Absolutely. Glad to know some of the things that they've invented are for a good reason. All right. Does anyone know what the first element on the periodic table is? Is it oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, or hydrogen?
Hydrogen.
Is that Wade coming out of the woodwork?
QSL.
That's it. Hydrogen is the first on the periodic table. All right, sticking with elements. What element is denoted by the chemical symbol S? Is it A, strontium, silicon, silver, or sulfur?
Sulfur.
Element of surprise. Sulfur.
All right. What is the smallest planet in our solar system? Used to be Pluto, but is it A, Mars, B, Venus, C, Mercury, or D, Saturn?
Mercury.
Absolutely. What is the capital of Spain? Is it Barcelona, Seville, Madrid, or Valencia? It is Madrid, just like the soccer team. Madrid is the capital of Spain. What's the official language of Brazil? Spanish, English, Portuguese, or French?
Portuguese.
Yeah, where's Albert? He would have known that right away.
I'll vote for Portuguese.
What is the national flower of Japan? A, tulip, B, rose, C, chrysanthemum, or D, cherry blossom?
Cherry blossom, I think.
Oh, yeah, they're famously known for having beautiful trees when they bloom in spring there, the cherry blossom. Just beautiful. All right, how about the world's largest ocean? Is it the Atlantic, the Indian, the Pacific, or the Arctic? It's the Pacific. That's the biggest one. All right, before we continue, do we have any other check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Alpha 3 Bravo Tango.
Look at that. We start talking about the Portuguese and one shows up. Victor Alpha 3 Bravo Tango.
Yeah, I was listening. I knew Brazil was the pork chops, but anyways, yeah, I figured somebody will get it. But yeah, other than that, just a general check in there, Chuck. Really nothing to report on my end.
All right. How about your plans for this weekend? Anything?
Yeah, actually, I took Friday off. I'm going to head up to Tobermory for the weekend, up to my cousin's cottage up there.
Oh yeah, does he have a TV outside his trailer too?
He's at a cottage. He's got a cottage up in Tobermory.
Oh yeah, no, I thought that was cool. They're seeing the TV on the outside of the trailer, so you don't have to be stuck inside.
Oh, on my trailer, yeah. Yeah, I got to get a bigger TV though.
Yeah, no kidding. That was tiny. You'd have to sit like 5 feet away.
That's okay. It was good enough for the game, for the soccer game.
Yeah, yeah. And I watched it too. There, boy, were they struggling.
Today was brutal. But you know what? They've already advanced, so today didn't really count for anything. It would have been good, for some points. But yeah, today was I couldn't watch anymore.
Oh dear. Okay then. So yeah, more fun. When's the next game?
The first.
See, like I mentioned earlier, a few years back, well, my daughter was little. She had an accident. We had to take her to the hospital, and we were going through downtown there, and somebody won, and I think it was the Italians, and we have a lot of them here. And of course, downtown was just choked. Came to a stop, and I was freaking out because I needed to get to Mac. And yeah, I think it was on Canada Day.
Yeah, no, I stay away from that, Chuck. I don't mind watching the games, but yeah, you will not catch me running around with little flags on the car or anything like that. You won't catch me with any of that.
All right, that's good. Okay, Albert. Well, thanks, and jump in anytime there, my friend. We're having a little bit of participation from the check-ins there. Thanks again. Okay, anyone else out there wishing to check in with us here on the Canada Day long weekend edition of the AREG Net? Please come now. All right, so where were we? Oh, did. Okay, I'm just reading what Wade had typed in there. It's been a few minutes since I checked on the YouTube stream there, and I see some activity there. All right, Jared. Oh, there he is. Yeah, the Subway guy. His name was Jared. Very good, Wade. Thanks. All right, we'll do a few more. What is a baby rabbit called? A pup. B, a kit or kittens. C, a cub. Or D, kid. What is a baby rabbit called? It's called B, a kit or kittens or kitten. That's weird. Oh, okay. This one's interesting. Which country produces the most chocolate? Is it A, Switzerland, Belgium, United States, or the Ivory Coast?
Switzerland.
I'll go for Belgium.
It is D, Ivory Coast. So it comes out of Africa. Here's an interesting one. Which bird has the largest wingspan? Is it A, an eagle, B, an albatross, C, a vulture, or D, a flamingo? All big birds. But which one has the largest wingspan?
Albatross.
Absolutely, the albatross. Those are big birds. Let me tell you.
Wingspan on them are 3 feet.
Oh, yeah. I remember going to, I think it was Marineland, and they had a bird sanctuary there. And as you walk into the field where they have their birds that fly, their birds of prey where they fly, they have this field and some stands. But before you get in there, you walk by this big tree, and I saw, like two or three eagles. I thought they were statues until one of them lunged at me, and he was on this huge chain. I almost had a heart attack. They were huge. That was the American bald eagles. They had three of them chained up at the entrance. It scared the living hell out of me. Here's another trick question. What is the world's largest desert? A, the Sahara, B, the Arabian, C, Antarctic, or D, the Gobi Desert? Which is the largest?
That's the Antarctic. It actually receives less precipitation than the hot deserts.
Way to go, Mac. Who is known as the father of geometry? Is it A, Pythagoras, B, Euclid, C, Archimedes, or D, Newton?
That's Pythagoras.
Euclid.
It is Euclid. I lived on a street called Euclid Avenue in a place called Ontario, California, far from Los Angeles. Euclid Avenue. What is the rarest blood type? Is it A negative, B positive, O positive, or AB negative?
O something.
The rarest blood type is AB negative.
Dope.
All right. Any Scottish people out there? What is the main ingredient in hummus? Or that's not Scottish. Hang on. I'm thinking of something else. The main ingredient in hummus, is it potatoes, chickpeas, lentils, or kidney beans?
Chickpeas.
Or garbanzo beans, same thing.
Yeah, chickpeas. Chickpeas. That's right.
Hummus.
Yeah, I like that stuff. It's pretty good.
Did they put it in the sheep's stomach?
No, that's haggis, not hummus.
No, I'm sure that Scottish hummus would be stored in a sheep's stomach. I think that would be very appropriate.
I like mine in Tupperware. Okay. Which planet is closest to the sun? Is it Venus, Mercury, Mars, or Earth?
Mercury again.
Yeah, it's Mercury. And apparently, the first emperor of China, after which the country is named, Emperor Qin, is reportedly buried under a pyramid mound with rivers of mercury. And in fact, they have tested the soils around there and found that there is high concentration of mercury. And so they dare not go in because they're afraid of all the possible mercury there. So interesting. All right. This will be the last one. Who created the character Sherlock Holmes? Is it Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, Charles Dickens, or Arthur Conan Doyle?
Arthur Conan Doyle.
Absolutely. And I used to have the paperback book collection of all the Sherlock Holmes books. Back in the 70s, my father had collected quite the book collection for me. So, anyways, so we'll wrap that up for uh, audience participation. Do thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group.
Victor Alpha 3 Delta Charlie Sierra.
Victor Alpha 3 Delta Charlie Sierra just pounding in here. Dave, come on in.
Well, good evening, all. Yeah, it's a lovely evening out there. I took the dogs out for a walk. One of them was just trying to kill everything. What an exhausting walk that was.
That's like seeing some people trying to walk more than one dog at a time.
Well, that's it. I had two with me, and one is very slow, and the other one was trying to kill everything. Is like a thoroughbred, just trying to charge ahead all the time.
Yeah, I knew somebody in Toronto years ago. She had two Malamutes, and I was able to actually walk down Yonge Street with both those dogs, and not a problem. They wouldn't get distracted. They would walk when I was walking and stop when I stopped, and they were so well trained. And they weren't even mine, but very friendly and big dogs too.
Well, these ones are 25 pounds each, and yeah, it was still exhausting. So, yeah, I've got one that's walking, slower than I walk, and the other one that's trying to do twice the walk I do. So, you kind of get a little bit torn there. One stops, and trying to move them too, because they're low center of gravity, isn't the easiest.
Yeah, that's when you have to devise tricks to help you along there, Dave. Anyhow, do you have plans for this weekend?
Well, I'm hoping to be able to go out and be with others that are doing the Canada Day activation, just to see what it's all about and how it's done. As well, my wife's down in Texas. I'm also a first-time grandparent, so my little granddaughter is less than a day old. Just over a day old now.
Congrats, Dave.
Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. I've got lots of photos coming through from Texas, and been doing a fair amount of FaceTiming down there, so get to at least see them in real life, I guess, as far as FaceTime goes.
Oh, very good. Congratulations, Dave. So the grandbaby is in Texas?
Yeah, they're in Magnolia, Texas, which is northwest of Houston, about an hour's drive with good traffic.
Yeah. Well, I think everything is a bit of a drive in Texas. It's very big. I drove a tractor trailer rig through the whole state of Texas in one shot there. 19 hours it took us.
Yeah, I can believe it. I know a few years back, 2 years, I think it is. Well, 1, 2. Anyways, I drove my son's car down to Texas for him when he decided not to come home.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, congratulations, Dave, and first time grandparent. Yeah, I can't wait for us to experience that. So Very good. Enjoy, my friend.
Well, thanks very much. Yep. So yeah, I'll probably be, maybe on the Friday night rag tube. I think they're going to organize who's going where, and if I can look over the shoulder of one or two, then that'd be great.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure it'll be a fun-packed day, POTA-wise, and we'll get more info on Friday, I'm sure. So thanks for joining us, Dave. Much appreciated. Do you have anything else for us, sir, before we continue on?
Nothing at this time. I may not be here at the end, but I'll leave the radio on, and I might be able to hear it when I'm upstairs.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you for joining us. And of course, we do stream the net on YouTube. And so if you don't have a radio to carry with you through the house, maybe on your phone or tablet, you can follow us on YouTube. So with that, we'll clear with VA3 Delta Charlie Sierra, the new grandpa in the group. So congratulations, Dave. So let's go to the top of the list and stir up whoever's starting to nod off there. How about it, Rick? VA3AXJ.
Yeah, just caught me taking a big bite of my stuff. That's good. That's still in here. Good net so far. And I'll be hanging in here.
Caught you with a mouthful. All right. Well, that's a first. Okay, Rick, very good. How about Jason? VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. Anything new, Jason?
Oh my gosh, choking here. No, nothing new for me. Unfortunately, I did miss the trivia part there. My son called and was having quite the conversation with him about his upcoming wedding plans and stuff like that. So got a little distracted, but back listening now, my friend.
Okay, it's all good. All good. All right. How about Mac? VA3 IMW.
Still here, still wide awake and kicking. Looking forward to day 2 of vacation. And yes, Dave's making mention of people getting together and being able to shadow us while we're activating and participating. So that's why I announced to our Burlington folks, keep your eyes on the spotting page, attention to all hunters and potential activators. Shine up your radios, put some wax on your antennas, and get out there and do it. So yes, we'll have some more dialogue on Friday night about who's going where, and make arrangements for people to pal up and get out to the parks. Anyways, I'm still listening along, and I'll be here for the duration.
Okay, Mac, very good then. And so let's move over to, let's see if Kevin is there. VE3KKP, are you back, Kevin? All right, let's see if Wade is near his radio. Victor Alpha 3 November Charlie Alpha. Anything to add, Wade?
Yeah, I'm still here, still listening along. Enjoyed the trivia segment of the show. It was great. The only thing I'll add is that I took a page out of Mac's book. He's got good ideas. Well, he did it better than me, but I did take Friday off to extend my long weekend. So I guess I have one more day left before I start my extended long weekend on Friday. So looking forward to it. And looking forward to chatting at the Friday night reg chew to hammer out the plans for the Monday activation. The plan, hopefully, we fill up that spotting page with Canadian activators and hunters to hunt them for the Great Trail of Canada. So I'm sure we can find a place for you to participate in there, Dave, and anybody else who wants to make a day of it. Looking forward to it. The second annual Great Great Canadian activation of the Great Trail of Canada. You got to fit the Canadas in there as much as you can. Back to you there, Chuck.
Okay. Well, I just have one question. I know that the Hamilton Amateur Club Radio Club has a club call, VE3 Delta Charlie, and whenever there's a contest on, they use that. But you can only have one operator using that call sign per band. So if you've got, let's say, 3, 4 guys that are on 20 meters, for example, only one person can use that call sign, or does that just apply for contests?
Well, we're working through that right now. It seems like multi-ops are no longer a thing you can do if you want to choose to use the club call. But I think multiple activators, they can spot themselves with a stroke identifier. So, you know,
Okay.
typically you'll see them with stroke Romeo 01 or stroke Romeo 02. But if you look at the POTA instructions, they actually say any three-letter suffix or any suffix up to 3 letters, I guess. So we were going to propose that for folks who are on the Discord for the Hamilton POTA group, which is loosely the affiliated club of the club call, that they could set up a station with stroke and then their own suffix. So if I activated or spotted as the club call stroke November Charlie Alpha. But this is up in the air. This is what we're trying to figure out right now, and we hope to have more information for Friday. But yeah, I think if you set up at a multi-op station, I think it's what you're saying there. You would end up with a duplicate if you activated the club call with multiple ops that were acting together. But you can set up multiple stations at different locations. That's my understanding currently. But smarter people are putting their heads together to figure it out. So we should have more information Friday. Is a long story medium.
Okay, very good then, Wade. Thanks for that answer. Let's see if Al is still with us. VA3 NFL. Al. How about Mike? Is he still there? VE3 Kilo Mike Quebec. Next, let's go to Thomas. VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform.
I'm still here there, Chuck. Oh, sounds like they're dropping like flies here. Nothing much else to say at this end. I'm glad to hear that trivia there. Boy, it sure makes you think. Nothing else from this end there, Chuck. Thanks for doing it. And I'll say 73s and have a good night.
Okay there, Tomas. Man, your signal is just booming in here. You're about 10 over, 15 over S9. Good job. Okay, how about next, Marty, VE3 Quebec Echo Echo. Anything to add, Marty?
Nothing to add. Still here, still awake. Very interesting. I enjoyed the trivia section. Thanks there, Chuck. Over.
All right, very good. Maybe next time we'll throw in a couple of amateur radio related questions there for next week. So thank you, Marty. How about Al? Albert, VA3 Bravo Tango.
Yeah, still here, still awake, still listening along here, Chuck. Nothing else on my end here, just listening on. I'm going to try to stay right to the end of this. Well, so I can get back over to you there. VA3 VT.
All right, very good. Then bottom of the list is Dave, VA3 DCS. Anything else, Dave?
No, nothing else on this end. Thanks for doing the net there, Chuck.
All right, very good, Dave. And so before we carry on, let's see who else is out there that would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ.
VE3 LBI.
There he is, the man of the hour, VE3 LBI. Larry, come on in.
Yep, 2 minutes late there. You were checking out with everybody, so didn't get the opportunity and wasn't going to interrupt. Actually, it was a good presentation tonight. The gentleman was showing some designs for 3D or 3D printing. It was quite interesting.
Yeah, I bet. Um, I've yet to even see one in action. So yeah, interesting. And I'm sure they're coming out with all kinds of uh, uh, textures or whatever they call it there, liquids that you can use.
Yeah, it depends on the thread and stuff. So, all right, listen, I'm not going to hold it up. You got, not sure what you got coming up next. I guess you did your trivia, so I guess on this day. Anyways, okay, we're here. We're going to listen along. Thanks for doing it, and carry on.
All right. Thank you, Larry. LBI on the mountain. Let's see anyone else out there wishing to check in with us here on the weekly AREG net. This is VA3CJZ.
V3BK.
Hey, Rick, you're awake. VE3BK. Come on in, Rick.
Oh, yeah, we were just tied up for a little bit. And so I thought I'd better check in even though I'm late. But so hello to you and everybody else that's there. And anyway, we'll listen in from here on.
All right. Now, if I remember correctly, you asked me a question last week or on Monday, I think, about my setup here with the cameras and the software and that. And I don't think I fully answered you. I think we got distracted. And so I think I did mention that I was using software. And on that software, I've I've got these little windows I can open up and put anything I want in there as far as per camera. I've got 4 cameras on the go, and these, if you're watching on YouTube now, these are the 4 cameras, and I can also pull pictures off of my computer and add them. I've got 12 windows here I can play with, and each window has something different. Here's one of them with a young fella with some headsets on at the radio. And of course, tonight I added a couple of extra shacks that people I've pulled off of the internet. And so that's what I do. I've got 12 windows. I just click randomly to each window that I have there. Rick, does that answer your question?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I haven't got YouTube on yet, and I'm just putting it on now, and I've got music playing with it. For some reason, anyway. Let's see. Now I should be able. There, I can see you now. Okay, I got it. I got a picture of you in there, I think, and if that's this week at 16:02. No, wait, that's the wrong week. Oh, where the heck? What week are we now? I got 16:02 and I got 16. Oh, there it is, 16:06. It says live. So there you are. And anyway, that. So you got 12 screens to play with. Am I hearing you right there, Chuck? Go ahead.
Yeah. The software that I'm using, it's called ManyCam, and this version gives me 12 windows that I can set up pre-net, and then I decide which camera I want facing where, and that gives me a box, let's say. So in the one box, you've got me there at the microphone with a small picture-in-picture of the radio, the radio face, and so I can just zip through whatever I decide. See, I got a different camera angle now with a small picture of the radio. I can do whatever I like, and as you can see now, another angle, and then for a little bit of fun, I can pull some pictures. Any picture I want, I can throw it up there. Here's my grandson on the radio, and so yeah, so there you go, Rick. It's a lot of fun.
Holy geez, where'd you get a picture of my grandfather? You got my grandfather on the radio there.
Yeah, there he is, using an old tube radio there, looks like. And yeah, pulled that guy off the internet. I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Have you ever seen the QSL card we have for V3DC?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I think I've got several of those somewhere in my collection. Let me see. Where am I here? Ham Shacks. There we go. Let's see if I can find one. Oh, I've got this one here. Okay. So here I'll put. How about the VA3 CWM? I've got that one, and I'll just go to my software here and pull in that one. CWM. Where are you? Just give me a second here.
Okay, well, further on the V3DC one, that's an old guy on the radio too, and that was taken off the internet by John Hudak. John Hudak, we had a little contest when we designed the QSL card, and most of the design is actually both of ours. Oh yeah, I see a QSL card there, but the radio's in the way. It's V3NFL. Yeah. So, and Grassy? I'm not sure. I didn't think, I thought that was somebody else. One of the new cards, and that was my design. So, there you go. V3BK.
Oh yeah, is that right? That was your design, the DC or CWM?
Both. And the only difference on the picture, John Hudak found that, and we put that on, and the rest of the card I actually designed, and the guy in the Ukraine, where they got the war going on, there's a guy named Gennady, and he does QSL cards, and that's where we order from. And he helped out a bit with the design too, especially on my own card. My own card, if you look up on the website, you'll see my own card. But in the card itself, it has an old TV type screen, a monitor, and Gennady actually put a picture of me in there because we were getting like a replay, whatever you call it, on the QSL card. So he did that. He put the picture of me in there, and the QSL card's pretty neat there. So anyway, I got cards that I send out there for DC and CWM, VA3 CWM, and as well as my own call V3BK. So there you go. I'm getting a black screen here now with just your radio and the microphone on it.
Yeah, some of the files are in a different format there, so I have a bit of trouble putting them up. But there's Larry's. Larry, you should go on YouTube there. I got your QSL card up there.
Oh, that's neat. That is neat, the way you moved that around, too. That is really nice. Is that QSL card off of EQSL?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, the only thing wrong that I found with EQSL was that it was only one-sided. So the actual cards that I got that we send out in the mail from Gennady, from the Ukraine, both sides. So like I put on different things on the card. You haven't got a card there to show people on here like the LVI. That's nice.
Yeah, I've got an actual folder with a lot of the QSL cards that I have. And I'm trying to find Delta Charlie there, but I don't have them alphabetic. So it's a bit of an issue there. What are you doing this weekend, Rick?
I'm not sure. Not sure, but we'll be starting Canada Day in July, or for July the 1st, UTC at 8 o'clock on Sunday night.
Yeah, that's right. Rack contest there on Sunday night at what is it, 8 o'clock?
Yeah, Roger, Roger. Right now it's 8 o'clock. Time difference is 4 hours. So 8 o'clock at night is 00 Zulu.
All right, very good. Okay, Rick, I've got one more QSL to pull up there before I continue on, and let me know if you recognize any of the guys in this picture.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That picture. I'm not sure if I was here that time or not. The guy on the far right, I don't really know him, and the guy beside him, I don't really know him either. But Dave, that's B3DV. He did Phil Day this weekend. The guy that's unknown. I think I know who that is, but I can't. Doesn't come to mind right now. Gary Nato, and there's Reg, VKBQQ, and he was here visiting us. He was on Phil Day that year. He came to Phil Day and visited us all. And there's a movie on YouTube with Reg in it, with us doing Phil Day.
Oh, very good, very good. Well, the guy at the far right there, right next to him, is Al, VA3NFL. His call sign's right above his head.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't even look at those. Yeah, that's him. That's Al. Okay, very good.
Yeah, he's probably got more white hair by now, but you know. Okay, Rick. Anything else there before we keep moving?
No, you carry on, and yeah, we took enough of your time up there, and hope to work you on Phil Day. Look for V3DC, or not Phil Day, Canada Day.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so with that, let's see. Anyone else out there wishing to check in with us here on the weekly AREG net, please come now. Okay, so let's start on this day in history, and this will be week 174 that I've done on this day, and we'll start with famous birthdays on June 26th, and we'll start with who will we? Oh yeah, okay. The inventor of the San Francisco cable cars was born on this day in 1819, Abner Doubleday. You all remember the Rice-A-Roni commercials, where that girl from the Partridge, or no, the other one there. She does a Rice-A-Roni commercial with the San Francisco cable car there. Next, we have the gentleman responsible for the Kelvin scale, born on this day in 1824, and that's the first Baron Kelvin. Irish-Scottish mathematical physicist and engineer. He's also responsible for the transatlantic telegraph, born in Belfast, Ireland. Next, Robert Borden was born on this day, 1854, passed away in 1937. Canadian politician and eighth Prime Minister of Canada. Robert Borden. He was born in Grand Prix, Nova Scotia. And as I mentioned, 1854 and passed away in 1937. Next, we've got George Herbert, born on this day in 1866. He was the 5th Earl of Carnarvon. That might sound familiar. He was an English financier and Egyptologist who funded the search for and excavation of Tutankhamun's tomb in the Valley of the Kings. He was born in a castle in England. And he passed away in 1923. He was not affected by the curse of King Tut, as so many people had died after the discovery of that tomb. All right. Next, we've got an interesting fella, um, Anthony Gustav de Rothschild, born in 1887, passed away in 1961, born in London. He was a British philanthropist. Now, the name Rothschild should sound familiar. The patriarch was named Mayer, Mayer, Rothschild. Yeah, very, very rich. They basically established a banking system throughout Europe. I would say equal to the Knights Templar. Super, super rich family, and the patriarch managed to bequeath his wealth and established an international banking family through his 5 sons, who established businesses in London, Paris, Frankfurt, Vienna, and Naples. The family was elevated to noble rank in the Holy Roman Empire and the United Kingdom. In other words, filthy rich. All right. The person who has a jet named after him was born on this day in 1902, and that's Bill Lear, American engineer and manufacturer. You've heard of the Lear jet. He was also CEO of the Lear Jet Corporation. Born in Missouri, passed away in 1978. If anybody remembers any part of the Casablanca movie with the black and white Casablanca movie there, and you'll notice Peter Lorre. He was born on this day in 1904. He had a very unique way of speaking, and he was in the Casablanca movie along with many others. And he's born in Austria-Hungary. Couldn't decide which country, I guess. He died in 1964. Next, we've got the man who ripped off Elvis Presley, born in 1909. Colonel Tom Parker was the manager of Elvis Presley. He was actually Dutch-born, and he named here as a talent manager, born in the Netherlands. He passed away in 1997. I'm sure he had quite the fortune amassed. Born on this day was Paul Castellano, an American organized crime boss, born in Brooklyn, New York. He died in 1985 in a hail of bullets. Born on this day in 1955, Mick Jones, English rock guitarist and singer for The Clash from 1976 to 1983. Born in London, England. Born in 1968, Shannon Sharp, an American Pro Football Hall of Fame tight end, 3 Super Bowls with the Denver Broncos, Baltimore Ravens. Lots of accolades. He was also a broadcaster for Fox Sports and CBS Sports. He was born in Chicago, Illinois. Currently, he has a podcast. And for the life of me, I just cannot listen to someone who speaks professionally and has a heavy, heavy lisp. Him and Mike, just picture Mike Tyson. Everything he says has a lisp. It just rubs me the wrong way. Sorry. All right. In any case, that's Shannon Sharp. Next, we got Chris O'Donnell. Turns 53 today. Born in 1970, he's an American actor, He was also Robin in the Batman Forever movie, and he's played on NCIS, I think it's, or CSI, one of those. Derek Jeter turns 49 today. Born in 1974, he's an American Baseball Hall of Fame shortstop. 14 Major League Baseball All-Star. 5 World Series. World Series MVP in 2000 for the New York Yankees. Born in Pequannock, New Jersey. And finally, we have Ariana Grande turning 30 years old today. Born in 1993. She's an American singer. Born in Boca Raton, Florida. You might remember a bomb going off at one of her concerts a few years back. And that's it. Poor girl. That's it for On This Day birthdays. Do we have any questions or comments or check-ins for this week's AREG Net? Please come now. All right, moving right along, we'll go with famous deaths on June 26th. And we have the year 1718. Alexei Petrovich died. He was the Tsarevich of Russia and son of Peter the Great. Now get this. He dies in prison from the effects of torture after being sentenced to death by his father at the age of 28. Now, I've never heard of this name. Richard Bedford Bennett passed away in 1947. He was the 11th Prime Minister of Canada, and he was a conservative. Dies of a heart attack at the age of 76. Richard Bedford Bennett was one of our prime ministers. Never heard of him. Next, we have Catherine Leno passing away on this day in 1993. She's the mother of Tonight Show host Jay Leno. Dies of cancer at the age of 82. And lastly, we have Beth Chapman passing away in 2019. She was an American bounty hunter and reality star and the wife of Dog the Bounty Hunter. She died of cancer at the age of 51. That's it for people dying or passing away on this day. Any questions, comments, or check-ins, please come now. This is VA3CJZ. All right. How about we go to historical events on June 26th, and we'll go all the way back, to the year 1284. I found this interesting. In 1284, according to the Lunenburg manuscript, a piper leads 130 children of Hamelin away from the village. Now, this was the Pied Piper story, the Pied Piper of Hamelin. That's German, after some guy named Hamelin. Also known as the Pan Piper or the Rat Catcher of Hamelin, is a titled character of a legend from the town of Hamelin in Saxony, Germany. Now, the legend dates back to the Middle Ages. The earliest references describe a piper dressed in multicolored clothing who was a rat catcher, hired by the town to lure rats away with his magic pipe. When the citizens refused to pay for this service as promised, he retaliated by using his instrument's magical power on their children, leading them away as he had the rats. This version of the story spread as folklore and has appeared in the writings of Johann Wolfgang von Goethe and the Brothers Grimm, among others. So the phrase Pied Piper has become a metaphor for a person who attracts a following through charisma or false promises. Now, the reason this is important because rats were the cause of the Black Plague back in the year 1284. And so people, of course, wanted all the rats uh, in their town, killed. So that's the story. All right, this next one kind of relevant to one of the trivia questions I asked. If you remember, do you remember who invented the toothbrush? Well, the year is 1498, and the toothbrush is invented in China using boar bristles. There you go. And then in the year 1797, Charles Newbold, 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 patents the first cast iron plow, though farmers fear the effects of iron on the soil. In 1807, lightning hits a gunpowder warehouse in Luxembourg. 230 people die. And the year is 1843, and Hong Kong is proclaimed a British Crown colony in 1843. The first Victoria Cross recipients in 1857. The first 62 recipients are awarded the Victoria Cross for valor in the Crimean War by none other than Queen Victoria. Has anyone ever been to Atlantic City, New Jersey on the boardwalk? Well, in 1870, the first section of the Atlantic City boardwalk opens, and it's pretty big. It's gone through many storms. Carnival rides have been wiped out by storms and such, but still it lives on. Next, the year is 1894, and Carl Benz of Germany receives the United States patent for gasoline-driven automobile. You may have heard of the Walter Reed Hospital in the United States. Well, in the year 1900, Dr. Walter Reed begins research that beats yellow fever. Also in the year 1900, the Russian Tsar orders that Russian must be the official language of Finland, despite growing unrest within Finland and increasing international concern over Russia's behavior there. And that was in 1900, and similar stuff is happening again. All right, we've all heard of Trudeau and the Aga Khan going to his private island. Well, the Aga Khan in 1902 is honored, and that's Aga Khan III. He is appointed Knight Grand Commander of the Order of the Indian Empire. His Highness, the Aga Khan, is the 49th hereditary Imam. An Imam is a spiritual leader. Muslims, it's a Muslim thing. So there you go. In 1917, during World War I, the first United States troops arrive in France during World War I.
Pronounced Imam.
Pronounced Imam. Thank you for the correction. All right, in the year 1919, the New York Daily News begins publishing. Remember, paper newspapers were a big deal back in the early 20th century. Actually, throughout most of the 20th century, newspapers were everywhere, from airports, train stations, on the street corner. Uh, and then the digital age moved in, and now newspapers are struggling. Okay, 1924 now. After 8 years of occupation, that would mean 1916. After 8 years of occupation, U.S. troops leave the Dominican Republic. Now, why did the U.S. send troops to the Dominican Republic, you ask? Well, that was triggered by concerns about possible German use of the Dominican Republic as a base for attacks on the United States during World War I. The U.S. government began a military occupation and administration of that country in 1916, which would last until 1924. Next, we have the theatrical review of the Ziegfeld Follies of 1924, featuring Billy Burke and W.C. Fields. Ah, yes, children. I hate children. That opens at the New Amsterdam Theater in New York. As you may recall, I mentioned that New Amsterdam became New York because a lot of Dutch settlers first came there. They called it New Amsterdam in the New World. And now, 1 year later, in 1925, a silent movie called The Gold Rush, very famous movie, directed, starred, and written by Charlie Chaplin, is released. 2 years later, 1927, the Cyclone roller coaster opens on Coney Island. I've never been to Coney Island. I'd love to go there one day. You got a really neat Ferris wheel that the cars slide to the center of the axle and then back out. Really cool. 1936, we have the first flight of the FW-61 helicopter, the Focke-Wulf FW-61 was the first successful, practical, and fully controllable helicopter first flown in 1936. Now, I looked it up, and there's a picture of it, and it looks exactly like the Osprey airplanes or choppers that we have nowadays. So this is back in 1936. They look exactly like the Osprey. And then in 1940, we have the end of the USSR experimental calendar. They go back to the Gregorian calendar on June 27th. That's tomorrow. And of course, I have a story about Jews. In 1941, Lithuanian fascists massacre 2,300 Jews in Kovno, Kovno. In 1945, we have the United Nations Charter, signed by 50 nations, and that takes place in San Francisco. Next, we have the St. Lawrence Seaway. In 1959, Queen Elizabeth II and U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower opened the St. Lawrence Seaway. There's no mention of any Canadian here. Allowing ocean-going vessels to travel from the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes of North America. Interesting. In 1960, Madagascar was formerly known as Malagasy Republic, declares independence from France. I guess France had control of Madagascar at some point. That's where the Darwin Awards come from. Oh, no, sorry. That was Charles Darwin studying animals and plants, Madagascar. 1964, blacks and whites riot over racial segregation in St. Augustine. That, I believe, is in Florida. 1968, Iwo Jima and the Bonin Islands are returned to Japan by the United States, and that's from since 1945 to 1968. I wonder how many of you knew that the movie Grease was a musical before it was a movie. In 1973, London production of the musical Grease premieres. Does anyone know what year the first barcode came out? Well, I'll tell you. In 1974, the Universal Product Code, also known as the barcode, is scanned for the first time to sell a package of Wrigley's chewing gum at the Marsh Supermarket in Troy, Ohio. Two years later, in 1976, the CN Tower opens in Toronto at 553 meters or 1,815 feet, the tallest freestanding structure in the world, now surpassed by Dubai's Burj Khalifa in 2009. So it held that record for 33 years or something like that. All right, who remembers Muhammad Ali boxing a Japanese wrestler? I saw this fight. Happened on this day in 1976. Japanese professional wrestler Antonio Inoki fights American boxer Muhammad Ali at the Nippon Budokan in Tokyo, Japan. And on this night in 1977, we have Elvis Presley's last performance. Elvis Presley sings in Indianapolis, the last performance of his career. A year later, in 1978, Air Canada Flight 189 to Toronto overruns the runway and crashes into Etobicoke Creek Ravine. 2 of the 107 passengers on board perish. And also in 1978, the first dedicated oceanographic satellite called CSAT-1 is launched. And staying with the satellite theme, in 1979, Moonraker, the 11th James Bond film starring Roger Moore, premieres in London. I don't know if anyone remembers this, but in 1989, Canada updates its coinage with a new portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by a Canadian for the first time. The artist is Dora de Pedery-Hunt. In 1989, also, the Supreme Court rules that 16-year-olds can receive the death penalty. Obviously, that's not in Canada, probably the U.S. And then we have K.D. Lang. In 1990, 8 Kansas and Oklahoma radio stations boycott K.D. Lang due to her anti-meat ad. I don't remember that. Does anyone? All right, in 1992, the Supreme Court rules fund soliciting, also known as panhandling, can be banned at airports. Thank goodness. And on this day, 1993, the United States launches a cruise missile attack targeting Baghdad intelligence headquarters in retaliation for a thwarted assassination attempt against former President H.W. Bush in April in Kuwait. Interesting. Never heard that one. All right. Next, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extreme temperature records. And the year is 1994. We got 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 Celsius at Denver, Colorado. And on this day in 1994, 107 Fahrenheit or 41.6 Celsius at Albuquerque, New Mexico. And also on the same day, all these 112 Fahrenheit or 44.4 Celsius at El Paso, Texas. And then 122 Fahrenheit or 50 Celsius at a place called Laughlin, Nevada. And finally, on this day in 1994, the hottest temperature is 126 degrees Fahrenheit or 52.2 Celsius in Death Valley, California on June 26th. In 1997, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, first book in J.K. Rowling's best-selling series, is published. Also, in 2008, the United States Supreme Court rules in District of Columbia versus Heller that the ban on handguns in the District of Columbia is unconstitutional. Now, we all know this being called Washington, D.C. The D.C. means District of Columbia, and with a little backstory here, the Washington metropolitan area, which includes parts of Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia, is the country's 7th largest metropolitan area, and they tried to ban guns there. Good luck. All right, the year is 2014. Luis Suarez is expelled from the 2014 FIFA World Cup for biting. Someone pulled Mike Tyson. Okay, I think I remember that. 2014. All right, we're getting near the end here. 2015 NHL draft. Since we've just had the Edmonton Oilers here, the Erie Otters from the OHL, center Connor McDavid is the number 1 pick by the Edmonton Oilers. That was on this day in 2015. I think the draft comes up in a day or two, Friday, I think, for the NHL. The year is 2016. Panama Canal's 3rd set of locks opens for commercial traffic, doubling the canal's capacity at an estimated cost of $5.25 billion. This next one is right out of the movies. In 2017, a helicopter with a rogue police pilot attacks Venezuelan Supreme Court in Caracas, Venezuela. No, I'm not making it up. All right, this is pretty cool. In 2018, there's the Hello Kitty bullet train unveiled by the West Japan Railway. I think it's still in service. It was only meant to have that theme for a short time, but I found it online, called the Hello Kitty bullet train. Also in 2018, India is named the most dangerous country to be a woman. Of course, because of sexual violence and slave labor. Yeah. Also in 2018, polio outbreak confirmed in New Guinea by the World Health Organization, 18 years after it was declared free of the disease. Also in 2018, a city called Kuriyat, Oman, registers highest low temperature for a day ever recorded of 42.5 degrees. That is 5.8 Celsius. Oman is in the desert out there in Saudi Arabia, I think. Middle East, anyways. 2019, highest ever June temperatures recorded in Germany, 38.6 degrees. Poland, 38.2 Celsius. And the Czech Republic, 38.9. That's the average temperatures for June during a week-long heat wave in Europe. Also, in 2019, more than 5,000 smuggled turtles are discovered in luggage at the Kuala Lumpur airport in Malaysia, bound for India. Here's something that sounds familiar. In 2019, 2 United States Florida towns pay hackers considerable ransom to unfreeze their computer systems. Riviera Beach in Florida pays $600,000. Lake City in Florida pays $500,000. And in 2023, we have the earliest possible evidence of cannibalism found in a 1.5 million year old fossilized hominin leg bone with cut marks made by stone tools on the leg bone from National Museums of Kenya, Nairobi. And finally, in 2023, here's a little bit of ironic justice for you. Russian leader Vladimir Putin vows to bring leaders of the Wagner Group rebellion to justice, saying they wanted to see Russia choke in bloody strife. We all know what happened then. Well, that's it for On This Day in History. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did researching it and telling you all, you guys about it. Any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group?
VA3 COF.
VA3 COF. Damien, I believe. Come on in, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck. Just caught the Indian net. I'm just driving across to pick my son up, heading across the Skyway, so I'll make it short. Just shout out to you all and enjoyed the field day on the weekend down at the Army range there. There was a good setup between the military and the pub, so yeah. That's all I got for you. Have a good night.
Okay, Damien. Well, thanks for your check-in, sir, and glad you had a good weekend. And there's another weekend coming up, Canada Day long weekend, sir. I hope you have a good weekend and stay out of trouble.
Thank you.
All right, 7-3. Anyone else wishing to check in here? Any last-minute check-ins for the AREG net? Please come now. Let's do a quick 7-3 round. VA3 AXJ.
Yeah, still here, Chuck. Good net. Enjoyable Wednesday night. Look forward to it every week. Other than that, good job. We'll be talking to you. I think I'm gonna head up to Res maybe on the weekend. I'll give you a yell back. That's about it for me. I'm gonna probably shut her down and go QRG. Back to you.
All right, Rick. Very good then. Well, we'll keep an ear out for you and take her easy. VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. You still there, Jason?
Yes, sir, I am. Thanks for doing another great net there, Chuck. Much appreciated. And 7-3 to you and everybody else on frequency. VE3 ZJC, back to net.
All right, Jason. Thanks for checking in and sticking around. Much appreciated. Who do we have next? I think Mac is next. VA3 IMW.
IMW indeed. Yes, great net, Chuck. Won't hold it. I'll bid you 7-3s, and probably going QRT. Head upstairs for a little snack and stretch out and relax. That's what I'm all about for the next few days. Yep, we'll catch you on the Simplex Net tomorrow night at 7 p.m. 446-125. Back to you.
Okay, Mac. Well, thanks for that reminder. We will check in, of course, on the Simplex Net again, 446-125 at 7 p.m. Thank you, Mac. Let's see who's next. KKP, are you there, Kevin? Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha. Wade.
VA3CJ said VA3NCA. Good evening, Chuck. Thanks for running it again. As always a great way to spend a Wednesday. Thanks so much for doing it. And I will say my 7-3s, and I'll also go QRT after this and pick you up at another net down the line, and for sure Wednesday. Thanks again. VA3NCA, back to you.
All right, Wade. Again, welcome back, and good luck on the weekend or Monday. And we'll be joining you on Friday on the Friday Night Rag Chew on the ZOE repeater. I'd also like to thank VA3NFL for checking in. He's probably laying down. And Mike, VE3KMQ, as well as Bill, VE3IUK, and Wayne, VA3 Fox Mike Bravo, all checking in on the YouTube stream. Thank you so much. Next, we've got Tomash, VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform, 7-3 round. All right, then. Let's try Marty if he's still there. VE3 Quebec Echo Echo.
Still here, Chuck. Very, very entertaining net. Thanks a lot for doing it. And 73, I'll be shutting her down.
All right. I'm glad you were able to spend a little bit of time with us there and kill some time on a hump day. And glad to have you aboard, Marty. We'll talk to you again soon. Have a great rest of the week. Next, let's see if Albert's still awake. VA3 Bravo Tango.
VE3BK.
VE3BK. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, check your email. I just sent you the VA3CWM card.
Okay, will do. I did see a message there on the YouTube stream. And I'll check my email after the net. Don't forget, folks, this week garbage is at the regular time. But next week, because of Monday being a holiday, garbage will be out one night later. Hang on, Rick, I'll get to you very shortly. Dave, VA3 Delta Charlie Sierra. Victor Echo 3 Lima Bravo India.
Still here, Chuck. Listen along.
It's a 7-3 round, Larry.
Okay, no, 7-3. I would just listen along there. So, all right, all the best. Thanks for doing it.
All right, thanks for your check-in there, Larry, and sticking around. Appreciate it. And next we have Rick, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd bring up that card to show everybody. Anyway, did you get my message? I guess you did. I saw an answer back on the YouTube stream, and it's the first time I actually saw the place where you entered. I signed in with the other call sign there. So anyway, so 73 to everybody on board. Good to hear Margie in there, and everybody else too that usually I've talked to on Monday nights or whatever. And Monday night, I guess is going to be a bit of a challenge there. I'll be on maybe a little bit late because I'll be doing the contest there for Canada Day, or I'll be in it there giving out points at least. So anyway, that's it for me there, Chuck. Good job, and enjoyed the part that I could hear, that I heard, and I'm watching the YouTube stream right now.
Okay there, Rick. I think I just pulled it up, and here you go. Here's the one that I have. Oh, it won't show it. See, let me try one more. I've got another one. Desktop. It's in a different format. I might not be able to. No, it won't show it because it's not on an acceptable format. I'll have to change it to a JPEG file there, Rick. So join us next week.
All right. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, good job, and thanks for being there, Chuck. B3BK.
Okay, Rick, thanks for being there, and I do appreciate it. We'll join you on Monday night. You said you're going to be a little bit late?
Yeah, it might be. It might be. It depends on how active it is. If it's not active, then it won't be late. But I might not be able to do the announcements from Monday. I don't know. We'll have to play it by ear when the time comes. Anyway, I tried calling Art. Art wasn't on there tonight, was he? He called me, but hung up before I got to the phone, so I never did call him back. Anyway, I was hoping that I could get him on the phone and we could do a patch like I do with our buddy there in Australia, VK6BQQ, and get him on the net, but he wasn't answering his phone. I guess he went to sleep.
Oh, okay. Oh, well. All right. Well, listen, I just noticed on the YouTube stream there that we have somebody from out of country. We have VU2 Kilo Oscar Charlie joining us on the YouTube stream. I cannot pronounce your name there. Prakash Kiani. And that's in India. Welcome, sir, to our weekly net. We're here every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and ending around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're welcome to join us, sir, and thanks. And with that, any last minute check-ins for this week's AREG net, please come now. Okay, always remember you can play back our nets on the YouTube stream. If you've missed some and you want to play it back, just go to YouTube and enter my call, and all of my nets are there. And tonight we had 16 check-ins, actually 17 with the gentleman from India. Thank you, sir. You are check-in number 17 in my log. And thanks again. So with that, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's joined us this evening and either participating or just listening. It's my pleasure to do the net once a week. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, we'll be here. Until then, have a great rest of the week and a happy Canada Day long weekend to everybody on Monday, July the 1st. Enjoy. And with that, I'll say 7-3, and I return the frequency back to regular use. Thank you all. 7-3.
7-3, Chuck. Good job. B3BK.